Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games and welcome back or welcome to the channel if you've never been here before. It is time for the return of Total War to the channel. These were the games that I originally built the channel on. They've been away for a while and now they're back, and specifically we are going to be returning to Rome 2 Rise of the Republic, purchased with the help of my Patreons. Thank you very much, Patreons, for that. Remember, anybody who does donate to my Patreon, the money always just goes directly back into the channel, so I'm able to do things like get this. And today I am going to be playing as the Insubres, I probably should say, who I have not seen any recorded campaign of on YouTube. Everybody's playing as Rome, which I guess, that's what the game's named after, so I can understand why. And Rome is certainly interesting. This was a very interesting time period in Rome's history, and as you all know who have watched my channel before, I like to discuss at length sometimes the history of the nations that I am playing. So at some point I am going to do a Rome game so that we can check them out. But today we're going to play as the barbarians, we're going to make our way to Rome, and we're going to sack the crap out of it instead. And there's so much to talk about, like this sword here on the scale via Victus. We're definitely going to talk about that at some point. But let's go ahead and hop into the actual campaign. This is the latest DLC for Rome 2. Came with a free patch. Now, it has been quite a while since I've played Rome 2. I have been off camera, just sort of refreshing myself a little bit with it, so I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be fumbling in the dark. I have played this game before. It has just been a little while. And as I was saying, everybody's playing these Italian civilizations. Everybody's playing Rome. I think I saw one Tarquina campaign, but nobody has played as the Gaelic tribes. Now, these Gaelic tribes that we're going to be playing, it's not going to be the Senones, it's going to be the Insubres, so I'm going to sort of be in the top in Cisalpine Gaul, so essentially what is now modern-day northern Italy. We're going to be hanging out up there. There's going to be a lot of other barbarian tribes that we're surrounded by. It's going to be a free-for-all, and there doesn't seem to be any specific order that people tend to create alliances or they fight each other in, and so it's just an absolute free-for-all. It's going to be chaos, and it's going to make it a lot of fun just unifying northern Italy before we even move on to our greater objectives. So I'll scroll through this little info thing they have there. You can pause it and read it, but I'm going to be talking about the history of all this quite enough on my own. And over here we have the Insubres. They're working with the Etruscans. Let's actually take a look at what bonuses we're getting. We're going to be Fearsome Gauls, so that's going to give us a plus 15% income from raiding and sacking. That's very good, especially once we start to move south. Terrors of the Night can always choose to fight night battles. Now, I really like that because this could be very good if I find myself in an offensive war and I've got two enemy armies right next to each other. The way I remember it is if you go into a night battle against an enemy army, if that enemy army had some reinforcements right next to it, they will not participate in that battle because it is at night. It starts at night, and so the idea is that the enemy army does not have the means to reinforce. So if you're going up against an AI that's not keeping everybody stacked together, their entire army, you can sort of pick off those smaller armies one at a time like that. So I really like this. Now I really thought about which. Well, let's finish talking about the bonuses first. There's Barbarian Tax, so this is the one that's specific to the Insubres. Barbarian Tax plus 30 to diplomacy with all factions, so I guess that'll stop everybody from dogpiling me at once, but I'm sure I'm going to piss people off pretty fast anyway. And government actions periodically ask the Council of Druids to assist in civil affairs, so that one I do share. But I don't have the invaders' instincts. Yeah, because this is the tribe that actually historically sacked Rome. We'll talk about them later when we run into them. As for game difficulty, I really thought about what I wanted to play as. I did swear to myself many years ago that I would never play Total War games on their absolute hardest difficulty anymore. It was a bad incident. I had like 400 light lancers retreat from literally 2 dudes on horseback, and that was the day I swore never again on the hardest difficulties because this is just cheating. Why would 400 people on horseback ever run away from 2 dudes on horseback? It doesn't even matter if they were naked. And they had no armor and no swords. You could just beat them with your fists. It makes no sense. So But I think so. We're probably going to usually play on very hard in all future campaigns, but for just this one, because I've heard that this is a particularly difficult DLC, but also because I'm still easing back into Rome 2. It has been quite a while since I played Rome 2. We're going to play it on hard. I promise future campaigns are going to be on harder difficulty. Anyway, you've heard me jibber-jabbering quite enough. We're going to go ahead and watch the intro video, although it's from Rome's point of view, so it's a shame that the barbarians don't get theirs. Of course, we're not barbarians. We're actually just, taking what's ours. Might makes right. There's nothing barbarous about that. It's just true. But it's gonna be a super fun campaign. I'm gonna talk about who the Insubre are, since the intro video doesn't really, after the little intro video, which is taking an unusually long time to load. I guess this is a good time to need to say 500 likes and this will become a daily series, so hit that thumbs up button if you do like this.
We failed you. Accused you and banished you. And you prayed for the gods to punish us. So they inspired our enemies. And sent savages. They took our land, sieged our city, to slaughter husbands, wives, and children. We are the city you loved. But we are destined to be the world. Marcus Furious Camillus, Rome needs you.
Alright, that was a nice little intro. Let's take a look at our area here. Okay, we have new objective issued. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at a few things here. So first, let's talk about context. Where are we in Roman history? This is the rise of the Republic. Well, what the heck does that mean? So, Rome initially was a monarchy. They had several kings that ruled them, eventually throwing them off in about the 400s BC. I think it was the 400s. But this then is the start of a centuries-long period where the Republic is undergoing its own internal strife, and they are also trying to unite Italy, the Italian peninsula. Which, incidentally, as you can see here, we have the new detailed map. We don't see all the details of it, but as you can see, there's many more provinces than there is on the base game. So we can come all the way down Italy, down here to the toe. Even Sicily is in on the action, and so on and so forth. We've got Corsica and Sardinia over here that are areas that we can go into. Not north of the map. We're Alps. I mean, we're pretty far north. We're almost at the tip. But so Rome throws off its kings, and it becomes a city-state that's incredibly small, only covering about 19 by 9, about 350 square miles, equivalent to 19 by 19, as far as the math goes. And a Latin League was formed against them. Now, Italy at the time, as it has been in many other times in its history, was a large collection of city-states, tribes, just many factions, far from united. For example, up here in the north where we are, there were the Gauls, there were the Etruscans, the Umbrians, the Sabines, and so forth. The Ligurians, who I think are the strongest tribe, I think. They do own quite a bit of territory here in the southwest. Okay, they've got at least 4 settlements that I can see. So they were in the north. If we were to head down to the south here, that's where you would be finding Greek colonists, but also Lucanians, Bruttians, Latins, the Latin League that I just spoke of. And there were also Greek colonists that were peppered along the southern coast and the western coast. So they had enemies all around them, and everybody was afraid of Rome. Now, the good news is that they rarely would actually form alliances together to defeat Rome. So it takes hundreds of years for Rome to actually unite Italy. Now, we're starting the year 390 BC. We're going to have a few years here to unite the north, because historically it was in the year 390 that Rome and the Gaelic tribes really begin to come into conflict, and that's a war that never really ends until Caesar finally conquers the Gauls once and for all, when he takes the war beyond the Alps into modern day France. But that's a story for another campaign. So we don't know a whole lot about these tribes, these Gaelic tribes here in the north. Oftentimes they had names given to them that were not accurate by historians at the time. People like Polybius. They were sometimes called Gauls, but they'd also be called Celts indiscriminately. They were interchangeable terms. So the Insubres that I'm playing are often referred to as Celts, but we don't actually know where they and many of these other tribes came from. They do get described, though, as being Indo-Europeans, and they probably were kind of in the Gaul, of course, the region of Gaul, but also Spain, modern-day Belgium, modern-day Western Germany, and perhaps also from the British Isles, the area of the current United Kingdom. But they were called tall and handsome, so we're going to see a lot of tall and handsome, barbarian tribesmen here, I'm quite sure. I'm sure that this was not a game developed by Roma Booze. Anyway, so they really start to invade parts of Italy starting at about 400, 390 BC. And in the year 390, you're going to have, there's tens of thousands of Gauls who end up reaching Clusium, which is south of where the camera is right now. They meet the Romans at the River Alea, defeat them, and then that's when they sack Rome, and they besiege the Roman army on the Capitol. So the Capitoline Hill, the 7 hills of Rome, the Capitoline Hill is one of the big ones. And eventually the Romans will surrender and pay them gold so that they leave. But that is not the end of the story. The Gauls will repeatedly come back to invade Italy. So that was quite a bit of backstory I just gave there. But it's just, again, trying to contextualize the situation that we find ourselves in 399 BC. This is almost 400 years before, I think, what most people think of as Rome is really there. We're talking about the era of Julius and of Augustus. This is well before that. We're not going to be fighting the legions of Caesar and Pompey as we make our way south. But I think I've gilded the lily quite enough. I've explained who we are quite enough, and now we are going to go out and conquest. So I have no idea who I'm going to be fighting because, as I said, I've kind of gone through a little bit, found a couple bugs in the game, but it really seems to be a crapshoot who's going to fight who here in the north. So the question becomes, do I try to smother, for example, Brixia here, which seems to be just a one settlement faction, or do I go after a faction that's of similar size to me so I can cripple them early, and also hopefully somebody else goes to war with them, and I could take advantage of that. Now there's some new features here in Rome 2, Rise of the Republic. I'll be talking about them as I find them to be relevant, so they're not all going to be coming up during the course of this first video. Alright, so we have the rolling menhirs here. Let's come over here to Mediolanen. This was founded by the Gauls, later will become Milan, so this is the roots of Milan that we're looking at right here. Also, let's take a quick look at our objectives. Watching our backs, Tale of Our Kin's Temporal Style 1. Completely control 2 provinces, either by direct ownership or through military allies. We do not control any. All 3 of the settlements that we have control over, we do not have the rest of it. So the Bitterigis, I'm going to butcher many beautiful languages. I'm sorry. In Brixia, they control Galla Transpadana. Over here, Rhaetia is also not in my hands. Lepotini is also not in my hands, which could make, going to the north here, taking the Lepoti, destroying them early, very tempting. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that just yet. We also had a couple other objectives here. So I think some of these objectives are bugged where we're not getting the bonuses when we're supposed to. Having said that, I'm going to try to build the farmers market here in Mediolanen, and let's see if that is going to work or not. All right, now we need research and technology. We're going to go for a couple of civic things here, start making our way towards the sacred hunt, but that's of course going to first get us the site to the grove, which is going to give me a little more growth per turn, which is nice. And let's get recruiting some units here. I want to go with the young swords. It's the only ones we can get here. And tribalist warriors or tribalist spearmen. I think we're going to pass on that for right now. Let's also take a look at the finances. We're going to bring the taxes up just a pinch. There we go. Just a little bit. We are going to be suffering from some public order issues pretty early on, as you could already see here. Let's see, yeah, I didn't expand the city. I should have. Okay, we're going to deal with that. Next turn, we got a decent amount of profit coming in right now. So I think what we're going to do is head east. Somebody's offering me a defensive license. Carnutus, I'm going to not take that because I'm worried about getting dragged into a war that I don't want to be in. And we've already got a faction that has declared war on us, the Ligurians. So, alright, I guess we're going to the southwest then. It's not as if I have a choice in the matter. So, I was just saying, I'm pretty sure that they are the strongest barbarian faction in the region. So, because of this, I actually wonder if I should rush Brixia here. Because if I'm going to be going to war with the Ligures, perhaps it would do me well. The Bitterigis, I can't pronounce things. It would do well for me to come down this way, or in this direction, because then if I could defeat them, I'll have sort of northwest Italy secure, and then I'll have isolated the Bitterigis up over here. So, having said that, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and merge these. Confirm that. Alright, and let's have these people come over here. Start coming south to Brixia. I don't know what the Cenomani are going to do. Hopefully they will go to war here as well. So we've got public order issues in all my settlements. It's not good at all. So we're going to build a well over here. And let's try to recruit some more young swords. Keep the young swords coming. And like I said, we're just going for a quick rush here. I actually think we are going to bring that tax level down right away. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is the family tree. We've got our politics window, summary and stuff. There's characters. There's going to be a lot of civil wars and rebellions in Rome 2, Rise of the Republic. We're not going to see that really happening, though. For the first 20 turns, I believe that there is a lock on it. Oh, I completely forgot about this druid. I wanted to bring him down here so he could join this army. Let's move a little bit quicker. Gabranos. So this is going to slow this army down a little bit, but that's fine. Carnutus wants to create a non-aggression pact. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. It's interesting that I was declared war on so quickly. Oh no. Another faction has declared war on me, the Leponti. What a shame. Alright, so now I've got issues to the north and the south. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to bring him over here to use military administration. He's going to reduce upkeep costs of all units in the parent army via their financial knowledge and people skills. Actually, let's just wait a second here. Let me queue up... No, Never mind. Let's go ahead and use the military administration. So that's going to do hopefully some kind of wonders. And now I can't move. So let's see. We've got some Gallic skirmishers here. Maybe get a little bit of the slingers and then some more young swords. And now we're starting to look at a pretty beefy army. Now, at least in our provincial capital, we've got some positive public order going on, but it doesn't look that good. It's going to be tough. See, we're going to take this, and then should I continue to focus south? He's a strong one. He's got the 4 settlements here, but I maybe could crush Lepanto kind of quick. Well, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Whoops. Diplomatic status. Yeah, enemies. No allies. Alright, enough of that. Enough of the strategic overview. Okay, and we've run out of money for the turn. Let's end the turn then. We're going to soon be at war with 3 separate factions. Who's this? Carnuta wants military access. Will they give me money to do it? $290. No. It's going to reject that one again. Alright. Region. Spoils of war. A roving warband has captured a cache of jewels. The war chief brings it to you to prove his merit and loyalty. What will I do with this treasure? Could give it to the populace. They're kind of mad right now. You give it to the noblemen, give it to the neighbors. Definitely not doing that. Or I can keep it. We're going to give it to the populace because we are sinking quickly here in our northernmost ones. We're at minus 29 over here. So, you know what we could do to maybe help things a little bit is we could raise a new force. Who do we want? We got a 3/3s. Anybody with a 4? Iulos. Clan of the Sun. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna raise that army. Let's actually give him a noble horseman. The Doom of Men. What a name. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, can we attack these guys in just a turn? No, we will not be able to. So, we may as well stay here and recruit yet more young swords. Garrison this. Alright, they got us down to -1. So, we're making some kind of progress here. What we got here? We could do wise leaders, which is going to give us a +1 public order in all of my towns, as well as lower the cost of my political actions, a little more tax rate. Yeah, let's actually detour over here to wise leaders. Our household has expanded. Oh, that's the tutor over there. That also reminds me. Over here, we want to... Let's take a look at our details here. We don't want the pig. We want a horse. Is there a horse logo I could perhaps use, since we are called the Light of Belenos, who is sometimes portrayed as a horse? I'm not so sure if this is a horse or not, this thing. That is definitely a horse. That's the main, right? Okay, so we're going to do this since that's the Light of Belenos. Alright. What kind of traits does our chief here have? Well, he is the chief, but he's also an indifferent attacker, -5% morale for all units during offensive battles only. Okay, so good to know. So what I'm probably going to do then is just lay siege to Brixia and then wait for them to sally out, which I'm perfectly happy to do that. Yeah, we have quite a few tribes out there, although there's only a handful that are actually playable. Our druid has increased in ranks. Isn't that nice for him? And the spoils of war, even though everyone in the tribe receives but a minuscule portion of the treasure, they are nevertheless happy. Locals are rejoicing. +3 public order per turn in all provinces. And I believe it's only going to last for 8 turns. But this is going to... Yes, this is now getting me in the positives everywhere but Bergamum. So let's go ahead and raise a new force. Actually, no, we've maxed out. Never mind. I cannot do that. It is not allowed. And... I think our army is as ready as it is ever going to be. Let's take them. All right, so if we inspect here, they do have some mercenary horsemen. They've also got a noble horseman leader. I don't have any cavalry myself, and cavalry, even bad cavalry, is always very nice for getting those flanking maneuvers. So I remember it being pretty good in Rome, at least in that respect. Not so much for the charges. It depended on the cavalry. You know, obviously cataphracts are extremely good, but let's see what we could do here. Can we hire any mercenary of our own? Wow, there's actually axe cavalry. That's cool. We'll go ahead and grab these mercenaries here. We can also get mercenary axemen. These are quite expensive per turn, but I think it's going to be a pretty big difference maker in this fight. Okay, so, you know, we got the, like I was saying, we got these reinforcements we have to deal with. But if we do night attack, no, it actually doesn't do anything. Not in this situation, probably because we're attacking the city directly. So what we could do is just encircle. Yeah, we'll just encircle, and either way, the reinforcing army is going to have to, as I just said, reinforce. Also looks like these are mostly tribeless warriors, so they're basically garbage. The garrison army is not too much better, although it does have the axemen and the horsemen, some Gaelic skirmishers. I think it definitely is best to simply encircle, and we'll wear them down a little bit, and they're gonna have to sally out, and we'll just crush the two small armies in turn. All right, still 4 turns away here. We're getting those -3s. We're getting positive over here. Let's see if I can maybe hire somebody new. No, let's just keep the savings. As you can see, we're not turning much of a profit. We're basically just going to be breaking even here. Oh, my bad. I did not assign our new our druid. Was it Garbon? Or wait, who was it? Who was it that description? Oh, here we go. Details, agent details, right, our druid here, so we can give him a new skill. I'm not as familiar with agent skills. I don't use them as much whenever I play Total War. So we've got our economist. Enlist today, -4% upkeep, cost for all units in parent army. Authority base, -4% unit recruitment cost in local province while deployed. That could be pretty good. Orator, don't need that. There's a lot of barbarians around me. He's strict. No. Greedy. No. No. Leave it to me, sir. Zeal. +2 loyalty for the political party parent general. Oh, that's really good. Zeal based. Underhanded. Okay, so I like economist, but zeal's pretty good too. I've already got counselor. Okay, I think not zeal. Advisor. Advisor is what we're gonna go with here. Okay. What's happening next? All right, we have a trade agreement offer with the Bitterigas. I'm going to call these the Bits. The Bits want to trade with us. It's perfectly fine with me. And the Lipoti want to offer me a peace treaty as well as almost 1,300 in payment. Well, you know, when they're scared, they're scared. I guess we'll take it. Alright, well that was easy. Good, that means I can now turn my attention to the south. So we've got peace negotiated here, and we're suffering from a little bit of attrition. I'm sure it's worse for them inside the city, though. Nothing to worry about, nothing to get hung about. We could also come up here, grab the meeting ground. This is going to increase the garrison strength by a little bit. We've also got some enclosed land over here. But I think what we really need is something that is going to increase the public order yet more. So let's work on this reservoir. And then maybe get at least some initial young swords over here. Actually, no, cancel that. One more unit of young swords is not really going to do anything to help me. We'll go ahead and cancel that. All right. Another peace treaty? I don't think so. Wonder why they would want peace. Alright, we've got a non-aggression pact here with the Bitterigas. Can we possibly get a payment out of that? They might accept it.
this in the name of
No. No military access. Alright, we have another treaty here with the Rieti. I don't think I'm going to need that. Actually, no, there is quite a lot of this territory up here that I will need at some point, but if they want to do non-aggression pact, that's fine with me. I need to focus on the southwest and the big threat, and I think that I'm actually going to be... Alright, cool, this guy has gone up in rank once more. Excellent. Let's give him something new. I think now we are going to go ahead and give him the Economist. So... there's only one turn before Brixia surrenders, but anybody who's watched my channel knows that I typically make episodes half an hour in length. So since there was no battle in this one, I promise that there is going to be another upload tomorrow. After that, this is going to become a weekly series. It's going to be coming out every Thursday, unless, as I said earlier, if I can get 500 likes on this video, I will turn it into a daily series, because that'll show me that people are excited about it and want me to make this a priority. If not, hey, we'll just do it once a week. There's no problem with that. You know, and if you're new to the channel, please check out the rest of my stuff, and I hope everybody's excited as I am for the return of Total War to Conquering History Games' channel. Thank you all for joining me. I am Conquering History Games, and you all have yourselves a wonderful day. Goodbye.